Paul, we're waiting for you. We're all ready.
We're live.
Hi, yeah, I'm just getting into live stream. Let me just get us recording. All right, and we are live. Hi, I'm Paul Sugarman with the Instant Shakespeare Company, and today we have Moliere Rendezvous presenting a reading put together by Simone Coonrod. So over to you, Simone.
All right, and this reading is dedicated to Stephen Brown. So today, Monsieur de Pourceaugnac is Moliere's second ballet comedy and one of the 4 plays produced for the King's Court. This one in 1669. There will be no ballerinas today. They're all caught up at the cart in mud somewhere. So we'll go on without them. All right, let's introduce the cast. We'll start with Clinton.
Hello, I'm Clinton Powell reading Monsieur de Pourceaugnac and a peasant and the lawyers.
And Islin.
Hi, I'm Island. I am going to be playing Julia as well as children.
Sorry, yes, Island. I was bringing the French in, sorry. And Bill.
I'm Bill. I'm playing Sbrigani. What is it? A first physician for most of it, and also a Swiss.
Drew.
Number 2.
Hi, I'm Drew Bolander, and I will be reading Erast and a company of singers.
And I am Simone
Man of
Coonrod.
many talents.
I am Simone Coonrod. I am the playmaster, and I'll be reading Nerine and the apothecary and a countrywoman and a police officer. All right, so Act 1, the scene is in Paris.
Carry out the orders I have given you for the serenade. As for myself, I will withdraw, for I do not wish to be seen here. Spread, charming night, spread over every brow the subtle scent of thy narcotic flower, and let no wakeful hearts keep vigil now, save those enthralled by love's resistless power. More beautiful than day's most beauteous light, thy silent shades were made for love's delight. Love is sweet when none our wills oppose, then peaceful tastes our gentle hearts depose. But tyrants reign who gave us birth and life. Ah, love is sweet when love is free from strife. All who strive against love must fall. Perfect love will conquer all. Let us love with an eternal ardor. Let parents frown and try in vain to cure absence, hardship, or cruel fortune's rigor. Will only strengthen love when true and pure.
Scene 3.
Dear Araste, take care that we are not discovered. I am so afraid of being seen with you. All would be lost after the command I have received to the contrary.
I see nobody about.
Just keep watch, Nerine, and be careful that nobody comes.
Trust me for that and say all you have to say to each other.
Have you thought of anything to favor our plan, Araste? And do you think that we shall succeed in breaking off that marriage which my father has taken into his head?
We are at least doing all we can do for it. And we have already many schemes to bring such an absurd notion to naught.
I say, here's your father.
Let us separate quickly.
Oh, no, don't go. I made a mistake.
How absurd you are, Nerine, to give us such a fright.
Yes, dear Julia, we have plenty of stratagems ready for the purpose. And in accordance with the permission you have given me, we will not hesitate to make use of every means. Do not ask me what it is we're going to do. You will have the fun of seeing it. And as at a comedy, it will be nice for you to have the pleasure of being surprised without my letting you know beforehand what is going to take place. This is telling you that we have many schemes in hand for the occasion, and that our clever Nerine and that dexterous Sbrignani have undertaken to bring the affair to a successful issue.
Yes, we have indeed. Is your father crazy to think of entangling you with this lawyer of Limoges, that Monsieur de Pourceaugnac, whom he has never seen in his life and who comes by coach to take you away before our very eyes? Ought 3 or 4,000 crowns and the word of your uncle to make him refuse a man you love? Besides, are you made for a Limousin? If he has taken it into his head to marry, why does he not take one of his own countrywomen and let Christians be at peace? The very name of Sonac puts me in a frightful rage. I boil over with Monsieur de Pourceaugnac. If it were only because of his name, I would do anything to prevent the match. No, you shall not be Madame de Pourceaugnac. Pourceaugnac. Was there ever such a name heard of? No, I could never put up with Pourceaugnac, and we will abuse the man to such an extent and play him so many tricks that he will have to return to Limoges. Monsieur de Pourceaugnac.
Here's our cunning Neapolitan who will give us news.
Our man has just come, sir. I saw him at a place 3 leagues away from here, where the coach stops, and I studied him for more than half an hour in the kitchen where he went down to breakfast. And I know him now perfectly. As to his appearance, I will say nothing about him. You will see for yourself what nature has done for him, and if his dress is not the very thing to set that off. As for his understanding, I can tell you beforehand that it is among the dullest I have met for a long time. We shall find in him a fit subject to work upon as we like. He is just a man to fall into all the traps laid for him.
Is all that possible?
Perfectly true. And I am skilled in the knowledge of men.
This is a famous man, madame, and your affair could not be trusted to better hands. He is the hero of the age for the wonders he has performed. A man who 20 times in his life has generously braved the galleys to serve his friends, who, at the peril of his arms and shoulders, knows how to bring a successful issue to the most difficult enterprises, and who is, in short, banished from his country for I don't know how many honorable actions he has generously engaged in.
I am ashamed to hear the praises of which you honor me, and I could most justly extol the marvelous things you did in your life. I could particularly speak of the glory you acquired when you cheated at play that young nobleman we brought to your house and won 12,000 crowns from him when you so handsomely made that false contract which ruined the whole family and with which such greatness of soul you denied all knowledge of the deposit which had been entrusted to you, and so generously gave evidence which hung two innocent people.
These are trifles worth not mentioning. Your praises make me blush.
That will spare your modesty. Let us leave that aside and speak of our business. To begin with, I will quickly rejoin our countryman, while you, on your side, will see that all the other actors in the comedy are kept in readiness.
And you, madam, pray remember your part, that in order to conceal our aim the better, you are to affect to be quite perfectly delighted with your father's resolutions.
If it only depends on that, things will be sure to succeed.
But, dear Julia, if everything should fail?
I will declare my real inclinations to my father.
And if he persists in his designs in spite of your inclinations?
I will threaten to shut myself up in a convent.
But if, notwithstanding that, he wished to force you into this marriage?
Why, what would you have me say?
What do I want you to say?
Yes.
What is said when one loves truly?
But what?
That nothing shall force you, that in spite of all your father can do, you promise to be mine?
Ah, me, Raste, be satisfied with what I do now and leave the future alone. Do not perplex me in my duty by speaking of sad expedients to which we may not be obliged to have recourse. Allow me to be led by the course of events.
Will you?
Sir, here is our man. Be careful, huh?
Guy,
Well, what is it? What is the matter? What do you want? Deuce take the stupid town and the people who live in it. Nobody can walk a step without meeting a lot of asses staring and laughing like fools at one. You boobies, mind your business and let folk pass without grinning in their faces. Deuce take me if I don't knock down the first man I see laughing.
What are you about? What is the meaning of such conduct? What is it you want? Is it right to make fun like that of strangers who come here?
Here is a man of sense at last.
And what is there to laugh at?
Quite right.
Is there anything ridiculous in this gentleman?
I ask you,
Is he not like other people?
am I crooked or hunchbacked?
Learn to distinguish people.
Well said.
This gentleman's qualities call for your respect.
Perfectly true.
He is a person of quality.
Yes, a gentleman from Limoges
A man of intelligence.
who has studied the law.
And he does too much. He has too much honor in coming into this town.
Aye, indeed.
This gentleman has nothing in him that can make you laugh.
Certainly not.
And the first who laughs at him, I will call to account.
Sir, I am extremely obliged to you.
I'm sorry, sir, to see a person like you received after such a fashion.
Your servant, sir.
I saw you breakfasting this morning, sir, and this other with the other passengers, and the grace with which you ate created in me at once a great friendship for you. And as I know that you have never been here before and that you are a perfect stranger, I am glad I met you to offer you my services at your arrival and to assist you among these people and who do not always behave to strangers of quality as they should.
You are really very kind.
I have told you already, the moment I saw you, I felt an inclination for you.
I am greatly obliged to you.
Your countenance pleased me.
You do me much honor.
I read honesty in it.
I am your servant.
Something amiable,
Ah,
graceful, sweet, majestic, frank, and cordial. Believe me that I am entirely yours.
I am greatly obliged to you.
I speak from the bottom of my heart.
I believe you.
I have the honor of being known to you. You would find that I am altogether sincere.
I do not doubt it.
An enemy to deceit.
I feel sure of it.
And that I am incapable of disguising my thoughts.
It is exactly what I think.
You look at my dress, which is not like that of other people, but I came originally from Napoli or from Naples, at your service, and I always like to keep up the way of dressing as well as the sincerity of my country.
You're quite right. For my part, I was desirous of appearing in the court dress of the country.
Truly, it becomes you better than it does all other courtiers.
Exactly what my tailor told me. The coat is suitable and rich. It will tell here among these people.
You will go to the Louvre, no doubt.
Yes, I must go and pay my court.
The king will be charmed to see you.
I believe so.
Have you fixed upon rooms?
No, I was going to look for some.
I shall be very glad to go with you. I know all this city well.
Ah, who is this? What do I see? What a happy meeting! Monsieur de Porcenac, how delighted I am to see you. What? And you would think you find it difficult to remember me.
Sir, I am your servant.
Is it possible that 5 or 6 years can have made you forget? Do you not remember the best friend of the de Porcenacs?
Yes, yes. Just take me if I know who he is.
There is not one of the de Porcenacs of Limoges that I do not know, from the greatest to the smallest. I visit them during my stay here, and I had the honor of seeing you every day.
The honor was mine, sir.
You do not remember my face?
Yes, yes. I don't know him a bit.
You do not remember that I had the pleasure of drinking with you? I do not know how many times.
Excuse me. I don't know anything about it.
What is the name of the pastry cook who cooks such capital dinners?
Oh, Petit Jean.
Ah, just so. We used often to go there together and enjoy ourselves. How do you call the place where the people go to walk?
The Cemetery of the Araness.
Ah, exactly. It was there I enjoyed so many happy hours of our pleasant talk. Don't you remember it all now?
Oh, pardon me. Yes, I remember. Deuce take me if I do.
There are 100 things like that which one is apt to forget altogether.
Let us embrace, I pray, and renew our former friendship.
This man seems to have a great affection for you.
Tell me some news of all the family. How is the gentleman he who is such an honest man? What?
My brother, the sheriff?
Yes!
He is as well as can be.
I'm delighted to hear it. Oh, and that good-tempered man, you know,
My cousin, the assessor.
Exactly.
Always gay and hearty.
Oh, it gives me pleasure to hear that. Oh, and your uncle,
I have no uncle.
But you had one in those days?
No, only an aunt.
Ah, that's what I meant. Your aunt. How is she?
She died 6 months ago.
Alas, poor woman. She was so good, too.
We have also my nephew, the canon, who almost died of the smallpox.
Oh, what a pity if it had happened.
Do you know him also?
Ah, indeed I do. A tall, handsome fellow.
Not so very tall.
No, but well-shaped.
Yes. Yes.
He's your nephew, isn't he?
Yes.
The son of your brother or your sister?
True.
A canon of the church? How do you call it?
Saint Stephen.
Just so. I don't know any other.
He knows all my relations?
He knows you better than you think.
You must have lived a long time in our town, I see.
2 whole years.
Yeah.
You were there then when our governor was godfather to my cousin, the assessor's child?
To be sure. I was the one first invited.
The thing was well done.
Very.
The dinner was well got up.
Yes, indeed.
Then you must remember the quarrel I had with that gentleman from Perigord.
Yes.
He met with his match, eh?
Oh.
He slapped my face, but I paid him back handsomely.
Very handsomely. By the by, shall I not allow you to go to any other... I shall not allow you to go to any other house but mine.
I would not.
Nonsense. I will not allow one of my best friends to go anywhere but my house.
Oh, it would disturb.
Oh, deuce take it all. You shall stay with me.
Since he will have it, so I advise you to accept.
Where's your luggage?
With my servant, where we stopped.
Oh, send someone to fetch it.
No, I forbade him to let it go out of his sight for fear of swindlers.
You did quite right.
It is good to be cautious in this place.
We always know a man of sense.
I will accompany this gentleman and bring him back where you wish.
Do so. I have a few orders to give, but you only need come to my house yonder.
We will come back presently.
I shall expect you with great impatience.
I find an acquaintance when I little expected to meet with one.
He looks like an honest man.
Oh, Monsieur de Poncenac, you will get it hot. Everything is ready, and I have only to give the word. So, ho, there. I think, sir, you are the doctor to whom somebody went to speak in my name?
No, sir, I am not the doctor, but such an honor does not belong to me. I am only an unworthy apothecary at your service.
Is the doctor at home, then?
Yes. He is there trying to get rid quickly of some patients. I will tell him that you are here.
Oh, no, you need not disturb him. I will wait till he is done. I have to entrust to his care a certain relation of mine who was he was told about today. He is attacked with a sort of madness that we should like to see cured before we marry him to anyone.
I know all about it. I was there when he was told of this affair. Upon my word, sir, upon my word, you could not apply to a more skillful doctor. He is a man who understands medicine thoroughly as well as I do my ABC, and who, were you to die for it, would not abate one iota to the rules of the ancients. Yes, he always follows the high road, sir, and he doesn't spend his time finding out mare's nest. For all the gold in the world, he would not cure anyone with other medicines than those prescribed by the faculty.
Oh, he is quite right. Patients should not wish to be cured unless the faculty consents to it.
It is not because we are great friends that I speak so of him, but it is a pleasure to be his patient, and I had rather die by his medicines than be cured with those of another. For whatever may happen, we know for certain that things are always in due order, and should we die under his care, our heirs have nothing to reproach us with.
A great comfort to a dead man.
Certainly, it is pleasant to have died according to the rules. Moreover, it is not one of the doctors who lets a disease off. He is an expeditious man, sir, who likes to clear off his patients. And when they are to die, the thing is done in no time.
There is, to be sure, nothing like going through the business quickly.
Indeed. What is the use of haggling over the matter and beating so long about the bush? One should know offhand the long and the short of an illness.
You're quite right.
Why? He did me the honor of taking care of 3 of my children. They died in less than 4 days, whereas with another they would have lingered on for more than 3 months.
It is a blessing to have friends like these.
Decidedly. I still have 2 children left, of whom he takes care of as if they were his own. He attends them, he physics them as he pleases, without my interfering in the least. And very frequently on my return from the city, I am quite surprised to find that they have been bled or purged by his direction.
This is kind care indeed.
Here he is coming.
But, sir, he can hold out no longer. He says he feels the greatest pains imaginable in his head.
Be patient. The patient is a fool, for the disease in which he is attacked is not his head, according to Galen, but the spleen, which must give pain.
However this may be, sir, he has had for the last 6 months a paxity with it.
And it is a sign that his body is cleaning. I'm going to see him in 2 or 3 days, but if he dies before, mind you, do not forget to give him notice, for it is not proper that a doctor should go to visit a dead man.
My father, sir, is getting worse and worse.
It is no fault of mine. I send him remedies. Why does he not get better? How many times has he been bled?
15 times, sir, in 20 days.
15 times?
Yes.
And it does not get better?
No, sir.
Oh, it is a sign that the seat of the malady is not in the blood. He must be purged as many times to see if it is the humors, and if this does not succeed, we will send him to the bath.
This is the beau ideal of physic.
It was I, sir, who sent you a few days ago about a relation of mine who was not quite right in his mind. And I want him to live at your house, as it would be more convenient for you to attend to him and to prevent him from being seen by too many people.
Yes, sir, I have got everything ready, and I will take the utmost care of him.
Here he is.
That is most fortunate, for I have with him just now an old physician, a friend of mine, with whom I should be glad to consult concerning this disorder.
Monsieur de Polignac, I am obliged to leave you for a moment for a little affair which requires my presence. But this person, in whose hands I leave you, will do for you all he possibly can.
I am bound by my profession to do so, and it is enough that you should lay this duty upon me.
It is his steward, no doubt. He must be a man of quality.
Yes, sir, I assure you that I shall treat this gentleman methodically and in strict accordance with the rules of our art.
Indeed, I do not ask for so much ceremony, and I have not come here to trouble you so.
Such a duty is a pleasure to me.
Nevertheless, here are 10 pistoles beforehand as an earnest of what I've promised you.
No, if you please.
No, if you please. No, if you please, I won't hear of you spending anything on my account, nor do I wish you to send for anything particular for me.
Oh, pray do not trouble yourself. It is not for that you imagine.
I beg of you to treat me only as a friend.
It is exactly what I mean to do. I particularly recommend you do not let him slip out of your hands, for at times he tries to escape.
You need not fear.
Pray excuse the incivility I commit.
Don't mention it. You are really too kind.
It is a great honor to me to be chosen to do you a service.
I am your servant.
Here is a clever man, one of my brethren with whom I will consult concerning the manner of our treating you.
There is no need of so much ceremony, I tell you. I am easily satisfied.
Brings some seats.
These servants are rather dismal for a young man.
And now, sir, take a seat, sir.
Your very humble servant. What are you about?
Do you eat well, sir?
Yes, and drink still better.
So much the worse. That great craving for cold is wet, and wet is a sign of the heat and avidity that is within. Do you sleep well?
Yes, when I have made a hearty supper.
Do you dream much?
Now and then.
What are your dreams? What is it? What are the nature of your dreams?
Of the nature of dreams. What the deuce is the meaning of this conversation?
Have a little patience. We will reason upon your affair in your presence, and we will do it in the vulgar tongue so that you may understand better.
What great reasoning is there wanted to eat a mouthful?
Since it is a fact that we cannot cure any disease without first knowing it perfectly, that we cannot know it perfectly without first establishing the exact nature and its true species. By its diagnosis and prognosis, you will give me, my senior, to enter upon the consideration of the disease that is in question before we think of the therapeutics and the remedies that we must decide upon in order to effect a perfect cure. I say then, sir, if you will allow me, that our patient here is unhappily attacked, affected, possessed, and disordered by the kind of madness which we probably name hypochondriac melancholy, a very trying kind of madness, and which requires no less than the Aesculapius, deeply versed in our art like you. You, I say, who have become gray in hairness, as the saying hath it, and through whose hands so much business of all sorts has passed. I call it hypochondriac melancholy, to distinguish it from the other two, but the celebrated Galen establishes and decides in the most learned manner, as is the usual with him, that there are 3 species of the disease which we call melancholy, so called not only by the Latins but also by the Greeks, which in this case is where they remark of the first of which arises from a direct disease of the brain, the second which proceeds from the whole of the blood, and a rendered atribilius, and the third termed hypochondriac, which is our case here, and which proceeds from some lower part of the abdomen and from the inferior regions, but particularly the spleen. The heat and inflammation whereof sends up to the brain of our patient abundance of thick and foul fulginocytes, of which the black and gross vapors cause deterioration of the functions of the principal faculty and cause the disease by which he is manifestly accused and convicted. In proof of of what I say, and as an incontestable diagnostic of it, you need only consider that great seriousness, that sadness, accompanied by signs of fearfulness and suspicion, pathognomonic and particularly symptoms of this disease so well defined by the divine ancient Hippocrates, that countenance, those red and staring eyes, that long beard, look at it, the habit of body, thin, emaciated, black and hairy, signs denoting him greatly affected by the disease proceeding from a defect in the hypochondria, which disease, by lapse of time, being naturalized, chronic, habitual, ingrained, and established within him, might well degenerate either into monomania, rather, or into phthisis, or into apoplexy, or even into downright frenzy and raving. All this is being taken for granted, since a disease well known as a disease I have cured, for ignoti nulla est curatio morbis. It will not be difficult for you to conclude that what are the remedies needed by our patient. First of all, to remedy this obdurate plethora and this luxuriant cacophony throughout the body, I opine that he should be freely phlebotomized, by which I mean that there should be frequent and abundant bleedings, first in the basilic vein, then in the cephalic vein, and if the disease be obstinate, then even the vein of the forehead should be open, and that the orifice be large, so that the thick blood may issue out, and at the same time that he should be purged, de-obstructed, and evacuated by fit and suitable purgatives, i.e. the collocs and the melanogogues, as the real source of all this mischief is either a foul and feculent humor, or a black and gross vapor which obscures and poisons and contaminates the animal spirits. It is proper afterwards that he should have a bath of pure and clean water with abundance of whey, to purify by the water the feculency and of the foul humor, and by the way that is, to clarify the blackness of the humor. But before all things, I think it desirable to enliven him by pleasant conversations, by vocal instrumental music, to which it will not be amiss to add dancers, yes, that their movements, figures, and agility may stir up, awaken the sluggishness of his spirits, which occasions the thickness of his blood, from whence the disease proceeds. These are the remedies I propose, to which may be added many better ones by you. Sir, my master and senior, according to the experience, judgment, knowledge, and sufficiency that you have acquired in our art. Dixie. My colleague will now speak.
Heaven forbid, sir, that it should enter my thoughts to add anything to what you have just been saying. You have discoursed too well on all the signs, symptoms, and causes of this gentleman's disease. The arguments you have used are so learned and so delicate that it is impossible for him not to be mad and hypochondriacally melancholic. Or were he not, that he ought to become so because of the beauty of the things that you have spoken, and of the justness of your reasoning. Yes, sir, you have graphically depicted, graphice, depictionish, everything that pertains to this disease. Nothing can be more learnedly, judiciously, and ingeniously conceived, thought, imagined, than what you have delivered on the subject of this disease, either as regards the diagnostic, the prognostic, or the therapeutic. And nothing remains for me to do but congratulate this gentleman upon falling into your hands, and to tell him that he is but too fortunate to be mad, in order to experience the gentle efficacy of the remedies you have so judiciously proposed. I prove them in toto, manibus et pedibus descendo intuam sententiam. All I should like to add is to let all his bleedings and purgings be of an odd number. Numero Deus impare gaudet, to take the whey before the bath, and to make him a forehead plaster, in the composition of which there should be salt. Salt is a symbol of wisdom. To whitewash the walls of his room, to dissipate the gloominess of his mind. Album est disgerativum visas, and to give him a little injection immediately, to serve as a prelude and to introduce to those judicious remedies from which, if he is curable, he must receive relief. Heaven grant that these remedies, which are yours, sir, may succeed with the patient according to our wish.
Gentlemen, I have been listening to you for the last hour. Are we acting a comedy here?
No, sir. We are not acting a comedy.
What does it all mean? What are you about with this gibberish and nonsense of yours?
Ah! Insulting language! A diagnostic which was wanting for the confirmation of his disease. This may turn to mania.
With what kind of people have they left me here?
Another diagnostic, frequent expectoration.
Let us cease all this and go away.
Another anxiety move about.
What is the meaning of all this business? What do you want with me?
To cure you according to the order we have received.
Cure me.
Yes.
Steph, I am not ill.
It's a bad sign when a patient does not feel his illness.
I tell you that I am quite well.
We know better than you how you are. We are physicians who see plainly into your constitution.
If you are physicians, I have nothing to do with you, and I snap my fingers at all your physic.
This man is better than we thought.
My father and mother would never have anything to do with remedies, and they both died without the help of doctors.
I do not wonder if they have begotten a son who is mad. Come, let us begin the cure, and through the exhilarating sweetness of harmony, let us dulcify, lenify, and pacify the acrimony of his spirits, which I see are to be inflamed.
What the devil is all this? Are the people of this place crazy? I never saw anything like it, and I don't understand it a bit.
Good day, good day, good day.
You not yourself a prey.
To melancholy sway.
Who will laugh and make you laugh, I trow, Tray.
With songs harmonious gay.
To us your cure is dear.
For that alone we're here.
Good day,
Good day.
good day. Not else is madness true, save melancholy blue. Not lost is he, though sick he be, who sips with mirth the dew. Not else is madness true, save melancholy blue.
Up and sing loud and dance and play. Better still I do, you say. Delirium's nigh, if you must pine. First take some wine, and sometimes too take your tobacco right joyfully, Monsieur Bossagnac.
Sir, there's a little remedy that you must take, if you please, if you please.
How? I have no occasion for anything of the kind.
It was ordered, sir. It was ordered.
Ah, what noise and bother.
Take it, sir. Take it, sir. It will do you no harm. It will do you no harm. It will do you no harm.
Take it, sir, Mr. Sir, take it, sir. It will do you no harm. It will do you no harm. It will do you no harm.
He has forced through every obstacle I had placed to hinder him and has fled from the remedies I was beginning to prepare for him.
To avoid remedies so salutary as yours is to be a great enemy to oneself.
It is the mark of a disturbed brain and of a depraved reason to be unwilling to be cured.
You would have cured him for certain in no time.
Certainly, though there had been the complication of a dozen diseases.
Hey, well, all that is, he makes you lose those 50 well-earned pistoles.
I have no intention of losing them, and I am determined to cure him in spite of himself. He is bound and engaged to take my remedies, and I will have him seized wherever I can find him as a deserter from physic and an infringer of my prescriptions.
You are right. The medicines were sure of their effect. It is so much money he takes from you.
Where could I find him?
No doubt, at the house of the good man Oronte, whose daughter he comes to marry, and who, knowing nothing of the infirmity of his future son-in-law, would perhaps be in a hurry to conclude the marriage.
I will go and speak to him at once.
You should, in justice to yourself.
He is in need of my consultations, and a patient must not make a fool of his doctor.
That is a well said. And if I were you, I will not suffer him to marry till you have physicated him to your heart's content.
Leave that to me.
For my part, I will bring another battery into play, for the father-in-law is as much of a dupe as the son-in-law. Certain gentlemen, sir, Monsieur, what's his name? Paul Signac is to marry your daughter, is he not?
Yes, I expect him from Limoges, and he ought to have been here before now.
And of course, he has come. He has run away from my house after having been placed under my care. But I forbid you, in the nature of the faculty, to proceed with the marriage you have decided upon before I have duly prepared him for it, and put him in a state to have children well conditioned both in mind and body.
What is it you mean?
Your intended son-in-law has entered as my patient. His disease, which has given me to cure, is a chattel, rather, which belongs to me, and which I reckon among my possessions. I therefore declare that I declare to you that I will not allow him to marry before he has rendered due satisfaction to the faculty and submitted to the remedies which I have ordered for him.
He is suffering from some disease?
Yes.
And from what disease, if you please?
Don't trouble yourself about that.
Is it some disease that...
Doctors are bound to keep things secret. Let it suffice you that I enjoin both you and your daughter to celebrate the wedding without my consent, upon pain of incurring the displeasure of the faculty and of undergoing all the diseases which we choose to lay upon you.
If that is the case, I shall take good care to put a stop to the marriage.
He was entrusted to me, and he is bound to be my patient.
Very well.
It is in vain for him to run away. I will have him sentenced to be cured by me.
Oh, I am very willing.
Yes, he must either die or be cured by me.
I consent to it.
If I cannot find them, I will make you unanswerable and cure you instead.
I am in very good health.
No matter. I must have a patient, and I will take anyone I can.
Oh, take whom you will, but it shall not be me. Did you ever hear such a thing?
Sir! Oh, sir, by leaf, I be one merchant and would like to ask you little news.
What, sir?
Put the hat on the head.
Yeah,
Sir,
well,
if you
yes,
please.
yes.
Tell me, sir.
Tell me, sir, what you want?
I tell nothing, sir. If you not put the hat on the head.
Very well, then. What is it, sir?
Ah, you not know in this town one Mr. Oront.
Yes, I know him.
And what for one man is he, sir, if you please?
He is like any other man.
I ask, sir, if he one man is how money is.
Yes.
But very much rich, sir.
Yes.
It does me much pleasure, sir.
Why should it?
It is, sir, for one little great reason for us.
But why?
It is, sir, that this Mr. Oront, his daughter in marriage to certain Mr. Burniak gives.
Well?
And this Mr. Burniak, sir, is one man that owes a much gold to 10 or 12 Flemish merchants that come here.
This Mr. de Porsignac owes a great deal to 10 or 12 merchants.
Yes, sir. And for that last 8 months, we have obtained one little judgment against him, and he put off all the creditors till this marriage that Mr. Oront gives to his daughter.
Oh, so he puts off paying his creditors till then.
Yes, sir. And with the great devotion, we all wait for this marriage.
Well, the idea is not bad. I wish you good day.
I thank the gentleman for the favor great.
Your very humble servant.
I pay, sir, more great obliged, on all pay the good news that the Mr. give me. Oh, things don't go badly. All is going on swimmingly. I must throw off this disguise as I did just now and think of something else. So much suspicion between the father-in-law and the son-in-law that the intended marriage must come to nothing. They are both equally fit to swallow the baits that are laid for them. And it is a mere child's play for us great sharpers when we find such easy girls.
Take it, sir, Mr. Sir, take it, sir. What the deuce does it all mean?
Oh,
Oh,
well, what is the matter, sir? What ails you?
everything I see seems injection.
How is that?
You can't think what has happened to me in that house where you took me.
No, what happened?
I thought I should be well feasted there.
Well,
I leave you in this gentleman's hands. Doctors dressed in black, in a chair. Feel the pulse. In proof of what I say, he is mad. Too big. Fat-faced fellows with large-brimmed hats. Good day, good day. 6 pantaloons. Tara, taru, tare, to toy. Cheerfully, Mr. de Porsignac. Take, sir, take. It is gentle. Take it, sir, Mr. Sir. Take it, sir. I never was so surfeited with absurdities in all my life.
what does all this mean?
It means, sir, that this gentleman, with all his kissing and hugging, he's a deceitful rascal who has sent me to that house to play me some trick.
Impossible.
It is, indeed. There were a dozen devils at my heels, and I had all the difficulty in the world to escape out of their clutches.
Just fancy how deceitful people's looks are. I should have taken him for the most affectionate friend that you have. It is a wonder to me how there can exist such rascals in the world.
My imagination is full of it all, and it seems to me that I see everywhere a dozen injections threatening me.
Hey, tell me where is Mr. Ronte lives. I should be glad to go there at once.
I should be glad
you tell me that. Say that to me, please.
Pray tell me where Mr. Ronte lives. I should be glad to go there at once.
Well, if you insist to say the same thing I said, you are a loving disposition, I see. And you have heard that Mr. Oronte has a daughter.
Yes, I am come to marry her.
To marry her?
Yes.
In a wedlock?
How could it be otherwise?
Oh, well, it's another thing, but I beg your pardon.
What does he mean?
No, oh, nothing.
But pray,
No, nothing. No, I tell you. I spoke rather hastily.
I beg of you to tell me what it is.
No, it is not necessary.
Pray do.
No, I beg you to excuse me.
What? Are you not one of my friends?
Yes, certainly. Nobody more so.
Then you ought not to hide anything from me.
But it is a thing in which a neighbor's honor is concerned.
That I may oblige you to treat me like a friend. Here is a small ring I beg of you to keep for my sake.
Let me consider it a little, if in conscience to do it. He is a man who looks after his own interests, who tries to provide for his daughter as advantageously as possible, and one should injure nobody. It is true that these things are no secret, but I shall be telling them to a man who knows nothing about it, that it is forbidden to talk scandal of one's neighbor. All this is true. On the other hand, however, here is a stranger they want to impose upon, who comes in all good faith to marry a girl he knows nothing about and whom he has never seen, a gentleman all open-heartedness, for whom I feel some inclination, who does me the honor of reckoning me his friend, puts his confidence in me, and gives me a ring for his sake. Yes, sir. I think I can tell you now things are without wounding my conscience. But I must try to tell you it all to you in the mildest way possible, and to spare people as much as I can. If I were to tell you that this girl leads a bad life, it would be going too far. I must find something, some mild term to explain myself. The word coquette does not come up to the mark. That of a downright flirt seems to me to answer the purpose pretty well, and I can make use of it to tell you honestly what she is.
They want to make a fool of me then.
But it may not be so bad as people think. After all, there are men who set themselves above such things and who do not think that their honor depends upon.
I am your servant. I have no wish to adorn my person with such a headdress. And the Porsoniacs are accustomed to walk with their heads free.
Ah, here is the father.
Who? This old man?
Yes. Allow me to withdraw.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your servant, sir, your servant.
You are Mr. Arante, are you not?
Yes.
And I, Monsieur de Porsonniac.
Ah, indeed.
Do you think, Monsieur Arante, that the people of Limoges are fools?
Do you think, Monsieur de Porsonniac, that the people of Paris are asses?
Do you imagine, Monsieur Arante, that a man like me can be dying for a wife?
Do you imagine, Monsieur de Porsonniac, that a daughter like mine can be dying for a husband?
I have just been told, Father, that Monsieur de Porsonniac has come. Ah, there he is. No doubt my heart tells me so. How handsome he is. How splendidly he holds himself. How pleased I am to have such a husband. Give me leave to kiss him and to show him.
Yes, softly, daughter, softly.
Hey, Day, what a pace she goes and how she takes fire.
I should very much like to know, Monsieur de Porsonniac, for what reason you...
How pleased I am to see you, and how impatient I am.
Hey, daughter, now go away, will you?
What a free and easy young damsel.
I should like to know what made you have the boldness to...
Give me leave to kiss him.
By Jove.
Again? What do you mean?
May I not kiss the husband you have chosen for me?
No, go in.
Allow me to look at him.
Go in, I tell you.
I should like to stop here, if you please.
I will not suffer it. If you do not go in immediately, I shall take...
Very well, then. I will go in.
My daughter is a foolish girl who does not understand things.
Taken she is with me.
You won't go?
When will you marry me to this gentleman?
Never. You are not intended for him.
I will have him. I will have him. You promised him to me.
If I promised him to you, I take my promise back again.
She would fain eat me.
Do what you will. We will be married in spite of everyone.
I shall know how to prevent it, I forewarn you. What madness has taken hold of her?
I say, our intended father-in-law, don't give yourself so much trouble. I have no intention of running away with your daughter, and your pretense won't take at all.
And yours will in no way succeed.
Did you think that Leonardo de Porgignac is a man to buy a pig in a poke, and that he has not the sense to find out what goes on in the world and to see if in marrying his honor is safe?
I do not know what you mean. But did you take it into your head that a man of 63 years old has so little common sense and so little consideration for his daughter as to marry her to a man who has, you know what, and who has put with a doctor to be cured?
This is a trick that was practiced upon me, and there is nothing the matter with me.
Oh, the doctor told us so himself.
The doctor told a lie. I am a gentleman, and I will meet him sword in hand.
I know what I ought to believe, and you can no more impose upon me in the matter than about the debts you are bound to pay on your marriage day.
What debts?
It is of no use to affect ignorance. I have seen the Flemish merchant, who, with other creditors, obtained a decision against you 8 months ago.
What Flemish merchant? What decision obtained against me?
You know perfectly well what I mean. All right, hang on. This is where it gets tricky. Oh, you're here, are you? I found you at last after all your traipsing forward and backward. Can you know, you rascal? Can you know? Look me in your face.
What is it this woman wants?
What do I want with you, villain? You're wise to get to know me, and you'd better not turn away, impudent rosebud that you are. What? They won't turn round to look me in the eye? I am not safe, Master Aront, and if it's you that they do say he wishes to marry the daughter of, I swear to you that I will be the wife of him, and that 7 years ago, when he was travelling through Penzance, he made out with lies and falsehoods to take over my heart, and so, by one way and another, to get me to give him my hand and him to marry me. Oh. The rascal left me 3 years afterwards, pretending that he had got some business to do in his own country, and ever since I haven't heard no news of him at all. But then when I wasn't thinking about him at all, I heard them say he was a-coming here to your town for to be married again to a young woman, and that her father and mother had promised to him without knowing nothing about how he was married afore. So I starts off directly, and be a-coming to this your place so soon as ever I possibly could, for to stop this your wicked marriage, and for to show up before all the world the very wickedest man that ever was.
What wonderful impudence.
Impudence? Aren't thee ashamed of thyself to make sport of me instead of being all broke up with inner feelings that your wicked heart should have given thee?
Do you mean to say that I am your husband?
Villain! You dare to say it ain't so? Ah! Thee knows well enough with luck to me that it's a gospel truth, and I wish to heaven it wasn't so in that thee had left me so innocent and so quiet like ever I used to be before thy charms and thy trumpery bad luck made me for to forsake it all. I never should have been brought down for to be the poor weak thing that I be now. To see my man cruel like, making a laughing sport of all the love that I had for him, and left me without the tiniest bit of pity. You are the mortal pain that I've borne about the shameful way you've used me. Really, I feel quite ready to weep. Go, you are a wicked man.
Ah, can't get it now. What rat-winded. Ah, good for now. That's made me run well with it. Thou not scrape me now. Justice, justice, and forbid the wedding. He's my main man, master, and he should just look to Adam strung up, the precious hangdog there.
Another?
What a devil of a man. And what would you be a telling off with your forbidden and your hanging? Thinking the man's your husband, are you?
You're rat, missus, and you're just his wife.
Oh, that's a lie then. 'Tis me that's the real wife of him, and if he ought for to be hanged, why 'tis me that ought for to have it judged and done.
That can wait now, what sort of talk?
I do tell ye that I be his wife.
His wife?
Yes.
And you tell once more, it's me, just that.
And I vows and declares as how 'tis me, my own soul.
24 years agone he wed me.
And me, 'tis 7 years since he took me for his wife.
Ah, prove it all, I say.
On my neighbor's note.
Our town can bear witness to it.
All Penzance saw us married.
And St. Quentin kept at our wedding.
It can't be no more sure.
Now what more certain?
Can you dare say anything against it, you villain?
Can't you deny me, wicked man?
One is as true as the other.
What impertinence! What, you rogue, you don't mind poor little Frankie and poor little Jenny, they that be the outcomings of our marriage?
Just look, dear chin. What's forgot your chin, our Maggie? And that's what the pledge of the faith.
What impudent jades.
Your Frankie, your Jenny, come both of ye, come and make your bad rascal of a father own to how he'd have hands-hearted us all.
Come here, Maggie. Come, children, come here quick, and shame your father the impudence as he's gotten.
Father!
Deuce take the little brats.
What, you villain? Aren't they fit to drop to attack your children after this fashion, and to keep the eyes averted, afeard they might show like a father to 'em? They shan't get away from me, you scandalous old bird. I'll chase thee every place and cry on thy wickedness, for I've called thee out, and so I'll make thee swing, rascal. I should like to make thee swing for it, that and I should. You're muted.
Wilt now blush to speak your words and no fond to kissing your old children? If not clear my claws and take thee all spoiled and showing thy teeth, and thou knowing thy wife, and you'll make me hang for it.
Father!
Help, help. Where shall I run?
Go. He will do right to have him punished, and he richly deserves to be hanged.
Everything has been done according to my wish, and he is succeeding admirably. We will so weary out our provincial that he will not only be too thankful to leave the place.
Oh, I am murdered. What vexation, what a cursed town. Assassinated everywhere.
What is it, sir? Has anything happened?
Yes, it rains doctors and women in this country.
How's that?
The two jabbering jades have just been accusing me of being married to both of them and have threatened me with justice.
This is bad business, for in this country justice is terribly rigorous against that sort of crime.
Yes, but even if there should be information, citation, decree, and verdict obtained by surprise, default, and contumacy, I have still the alternative of a conflict of jurisdiction to gain time and to resort to the means of nullity that will be found in the court case.
The very terms. And it is easy to see that you are in the profession, sir.
I certainly not. I am a gentleman.
But to speak as you do, you must have studied the law.
Not at all. It is only common sense which tells me that I shall always be admitted to be justified by facts, and that I could not be condemned upon a simple accusation without witnesses, evidence, and confrontation with my adverse party.
This is more clever still.
These words come into my head without my knowledge.
It seems that to me that the common sense of a gentleman may go so far as to understand what belongs to right and the other of justice, but not to know the very terms of chicane.
They are a few words I remember from reading novels.
Ah, I see.
To show you that I understand nothing of chicane, I beg of you to take me to a lawyer to have advice upon this affair.
Willingly, I will take you to two very clever men. But first, I must tell you not to be surprised at their manner of speaking. They have contracted at the bar a certain habit of declaiming which looks like singing. And you would think all they tell you is nothing but the music.
Does not matter what they speak as long as they tell me what I wish to know. Polygamy's a case, you find, a case of hanging. Your deed is plain and clear, and all the gear of wigs and law upon this flaw one verdict bear. Consult our authors, legislators and glossators, Justinians, Papinians, Utpians, and Tribonian, Fernan, Rebuff, Jean Imole, Paul Castro, Julian Bothel, Jason, Loyat, and Cujas, that mighty mind. Polygamy's a case you'll find, a case of hanging. All nations civilized, French, Dutch, and English, Portuguese, Germans, Flemish, Italians, and Spanish, by wisdom's scepter swayed, for this the self-same law have made. The affair is allowed, no doubt, polygamy's a case of hanging.
Yes, everything is succeeding splendidly, and as his knowledge of things is very shallow and his understanding of the poorest, but I put him in such a terrible fright at the severity of the law in this country and at the preparations which were already set on foot to put him to death, that he is determined to run away. And in order to better to escape from the people who, I have told him, are placed at the city gates to stop him, he has decided upon disguising himself as a woman.
Oh, how I should like to see him dressed up that way.
Take care. You carry out the farce properly, and whilst I go through my parts with him, you'll go and you understand, don't you?
Yes.
And I have taken it to him where I mean.
All right.
And when the father has been forewarned by me.
Nothing could be better.
Oh, here's a young lady. Go quickly. She must not see us together. For my part, I do not think anyone can know you. And you look exactly like a lady of birth.
I am so astonished that in this province the forms of justice should not be observed.
Yes, as I have already told you, they begin by hanging a man and then try them afterwards.
What unjust justice!
It is definitely severe, particularly on this kind of crime.
Still, when one is innocent.
Me, they care little for that. And besides, they have here a most intolerable hatred of the people of your province. And nothing gives me more pleasure than to hang a man from Limoges.
What have the people from Limoges done to them?
How do I know? They are downright brutes, enemies to all the gentility and the merit of other cities. For my part, I am in the greatest fear on your account, and I should never accompany myself if you were hanged.
It is not so much the fear of death that urges me to fly as the fact of being hanged, for it is a most degrading thing for a gentle man and would ruin one's title of nobility.
Yeah, you are right. After such a thing, they would contest for your right of bearing a title of nobility. But be careful when I lead you by the hand to walk like a woman and to assume the matters in the language of a lady of quality, huh?
Leave that to me. I have seen people of high standing in the world. The only thing that troubles me is that I have somewhat of a beard.
Oh. Oh, it is not worth mentioning. There are many women who have as much. Now, let us just see how you will behave yourself. Show.
Why, my carriage is not here. Where is my carriage? Gracious me, how wretched to have such attendance. Shall I have to wait all day in the street? Will not someone call my carriage for me?
Very good.
Sorrow! Coachman, little page, little rogue, what a whipping you will get by and by, little page boy, little page boy. Where in the world is that page boy? Will that little page never be found? Will nothing call that little page for me? Is my little page nowhere to be found?
Marvelous. But there is one thing that I see does not do. This a hood. This is a little too thin. I must go to fetch a thick one to hide your face better in case any accident.
What shall I do in the meantime?
Wait for me here. I will be back in a moment. You have only to walk about.
Come, you make haste, mein comrade. We will both of us go to the marketplace to see this Personiac at the justice, which him condemns to be hung by the neck.
We must hire one window to see the justice.
Man says that they already a great new gallows plant have to hang this Personiac to it.
It will be, yes, a great pleasure to see this limousine hung.
Yeah, to see him waggle the feet up there before all the people.
He pay one funny man. A man says that he married 3 times a half.
The Rome fellow. He want 3 wives all to himself, and very much quite enough for him.
Good day, me see.
What do you there all by self?
I am waiting for my servants, gentlemen.
Io per protimessi.
Gently, sirs.
Missy, will you come and amuse you on the marketplace? We will make you see one little hanging, very pretty.
I am much obliged to you.
It is a limousine, gentleman, that will hang very brutally at a great gallows.
I am not desirous to see it.
You have one much funny price.
This is too much, and such odious things that are not said to a woman of my position.
You go away?
Me will not let you.
I will. What I will, I tell you.
I will not let you.
You have told one terrible lie.
You have told one lie yourself.
Please.
What is it? What is the matter, this violence? What are you doing to this lady? Be off at once, unless you wish to be put in prison.
Oh, get you gone. You will not have her.
Put you gone too. You will not have her also.
Oh, I am much obliged to you, sir, for saving me from those insolent fellows.
Oh, this is the face which is deucedly like that which was described to me.
Oh, it is not I assure you.
Oh, what does that mean?
I don't know.
What is it then that makes you say that?
But nothing.
The manner of speaking is somewhat ambiguous, and you are my prisoner.
Sir, I pray.
No, no. To judge by your appearance and your manner of speaking, you must be that of Monsieur de Polignac. We are looking for, although you have disguised in this manner, and you must come to prison at once.
Alas,
Heavens, heavens, what does this mean?
they have discovered who I am.
Yes, yes, and I am delighted about it.
Ah, sir, for my sake, do not take him to prison. You know that we have been friends for a long time.
I cannot help it.
Oh, you are a man to hear reason. Is there no way of adjusting this matter with the help of a few pistoles?
Go further back.
You must give him some money for him to let you go. Be quick.
Cursed place.
Here, sir.
Which is there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
No, I have express orders.
Pray, wait. Be quick. Give him as much again. Huh?
What?
But what? Be quick. I tell you, don't waste time. You would be happy. Would you not if you were hanged?
Ah,
Here, sir.
I must go off with him, for I should not be in safety here with this. Leave him for me, and don't stir from this place.
I beg of you to take the utmost care of him.
I promise you not to leave him one moment till I see him safe.
farewell. This is the first honest man I have found in this town.
What a strange adventure. What terrible news for the father. Poor Oronte. How much I pity you. What will you say? How will I ever be able to bear with such a misfortune?
What is it? Of what misfortune do you speak?
Ah, sir, this wretch of a limousine has run away with your daughter.
Run away with my daughter?
Yes, she became so infatuated with him that she has left you to follow him. It is said that he has a charm to make all the women fall in love with him, only with him. Yes.
Justice, let the police be set after him. Them.
Come along, come along. You shall come in spite of yourself. I will put you in your father's hands. Sir, here is your daughter, whom I had to take by force from the man with whom she was running away. It is not for her sake that I did it, but entirely for yours. For after such conduct, I ought to despise her, and it is enough to cure me altogether of my love.
Ah, infamous girl that you are.
How could you treat me in that way after all the proofs of affection I have given you? I do not blame you for being obedient to your father's will. He is wise and judicious in all he does. And I do not complain of him for having preferred another to me. I told him that the other man was richer than I by 4,000 or 5,000 crowns. And 4,000 or 5,000 crowns are a good round sum and are enough to make a gentleman break his word. But that you should forget in a moment all the love I had for you, suffer yourself to fall madly in love with the first newcomer and shamefully follow him without the consent of your father after all the crimes that were charged upon him. It is what all the world will condemn, and what my heart can never cease to reproach you with.
Well, yes. I fell in love with him, and I wanted to follow him, since my father had chosen him to be my husband. Whatever you may say, he is a very honest man, and all the crimes they accuse him of are so many detestable falsehoods.
Be silent. You are an impertinent hussy, and I know better than you.
They are some tricks they have played on him, and it is he himself, no doubt, who has managed it all to disgust you with him.
What? I should be capable of such a thing?
Yes, you.
Be silent, I tell you. You're a silly girl.
You need not think that I have any wish to prevent the match. And that is because I love you and that I hasten to rescue you. I have already told you that it is only because of the regard I have for your father. I could not bear to see an honorable man exposed to the shame of all the gossip that would have been occasioned by such an action.
I am truly and sincerely obliged to you, sir.
Farewell, sir. I had the greatest desire to enter into your family. I did everything to deserve such an honor, but I've been unfortunate, and you did not judge me worthy of that honor. It will not prevent me from retaining towards you all those feelings of esteem and regard which your person demands, and although I cannot be your son-in-law, I shall always be at your service.
Stay. Your behavior touches my heart, and I give you my daughter in marriage.
I won't have any other husband than Monsieur de Porcignac.
And I will have you marry Eraste at once.
No, I will not.
I shall give it you about the ears.
No, no, sir, don't use violence towards her, I pray you.
I will have her obey me, and I will show her that I am the master.
Do you not see how fast in love she is with that man? And would you have me possess the body while another has the heart?
He has thrown some charm upon her. You may be sure that she will change before long. Give me your hand, come. Oh, what? Rebellion? Your hand, I tell you, at once.
Do not think that it is because I love you, my love for you, that I agree to marry you. It is your father only that I am in love with, and it is him whom I marry.
Oh, I am truly obliged to you, and I add 10,000 crowns to my daughter's portion. Quick, notary, draw up the contract.
In the meanwhile, let us enjoy the pleasures of the season and fetch in those masks whom the report of Mr. de Porcignac's wedding has attracted hither.
End of play.
Thank God we're not doing the ballet.
And here's the ballet.
Spoken too soon, Angus.
Yeah.
My hat will fall off. Oh, I got to do that. Yeah. Oh, the other way. I can't do this. Yeah.
Oh, the other way.
Oh, God. Incredibly silly. It was bad
All
enough.
right.
It was,
Oh,
bad
It was
enough
an
Clinton having to do.
LMAO's play.
Yeah,
That was fun. I liked this play.
bad enough trying to do Lucette without you sitting there smirking at me.
That was great.
Very difficult, that was.
I could barely, I had to come in the next line and I was just laughing so much.
No, it was good. Our mics were off during that physician scene.
Oh, really? Yeah. It does go on, doesn't it? Yeah.
My God.
An island, wonderful.
Yes, welcome.
Yes.
Thank you. Definitely felt stiff in the very beginning, and I was thankful to have that, like, oh my God, that physician's monologue, man, that was so, I'm so impressed. You got through all of that.
Holy crap.
Yeah, well done.
All the intentions
Wow.
were great. All the intentions were great. And then I said, "Oh crap! I don't have a Swiss costume. Oh well, never mind. Angus doesn't have one either. Okay, we're fine. Neutral Swiss. Neutral."
Right, neutral.
Well, you see, there's a monologue you can use for auditions, Bill.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Not too long at all.
Oh no! One of those short and sweet
Buddy,
ones. You know?
I got a half-hour monologue here for you.
Yeah.
I love how he comes back in. He's like, well, I've been listening to you talk for an hour now.
Yeah. It's on par with the Salic law speech.
Yeah. Yes.
I love the line too. It's like, oh, this isn't a comedy.
Yeah, are we playing in a comedy right now?
Not a comedy.
And it's tragic when
Moliere
it's
writing
tragic
for
when
the
some,
bit, you
it's
know,
tragic
he's-
when an ill person doesn't know his own disease.
Oh my God. This entire play is just gaslighting this poor man.
Yes.
When,
fun.
when did I
And
read? When did I
physicians.
read that actually it wasn't exaggerated about the physician's role in that time? Was that? Did you write that to us, Simone?
well, at
When
least
did I
yours
read
was
that?
in something approaching English. I had to spend the whole of yesterday trying to translate
Yeah.
Wall's attempts at Cornish dialect.
Yeah.
Ah.
So I could work out what the hell he was saying.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch this on YouTube. But I love Moliere's
Can't we not? Can't
just
we
dig into the doctors and the apothecary, like, oh
can't we
yeah,
just
just give
destroy it?
my children to him, trust him completely.
Yeah. Oh my, I loved the part where she was like, oh, yeah, they only died after a couple weeks.
Yeah, I know. I know.
If they'd been with another doctor, they would have
Merciful.
suffered for 3
Yeah,
months.
for 3 or 4 months, and he would have just gone on and on.
He killed him right away.
I know, it's great.
He
I love,
definitely had
you know,
this
no
thing
one knows
about
this
doctors.
play. You know, in France, people don't.
Uh,
They might have known the title, but they go, I don't know. But I love this play.
Yeah.
It's up there for me.
Well,
I was
think
imagining it on stage the whole time, and it it just gets so ridiculous. It's hilarious.
I think that's the surprising and exciting part of this project, doing these Moliere rendezvous, is how few Moliere
Yeah.
plays are in the repertoire.
yeah.
Yeah,
And there's,
that's
of
right.
course, we've read some that are not necessarily as stage worthy as this or some others, but
But
it's
this is
funny.
laugh
It's
out
cool.
loud. Laugh
Yeah.
out loud. I was laughing. I was
Yeah.
laughing.
That's
I said,
true.
oh, is my mic off? Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, no.
Oh, wait, I was doing that multiple times. I was like, wait, my mic's off, right? Okay.
Yeah.
But
And
you know,
Angus, when
oh my God.
I was just laughing during my part when we were going back and forth. I can barely keep myself together.
we think that vicious satire is something fairly new, and it wasn't. He was doing it by the shovelful, and
Yeah.
nothing was sacred. And you can
Yeah.
understand why the church hated him, and the
Mhm.
medical profession despised him,
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
why the
he
people
re-
thought, "Yeah, great, love this."
Yeah, this is a theme that he uses, you know, a lot. I mean, the imaginary invalid, but this
That's right.
he really digs it in here. I mean, those lines, yeah, the monologues, the lines, the apothecary, ay, ay, ay. It is crystal clear what his point is.
Yep. He
The
really
doctor
doesn't
was
like them.
agreed to. Paul, what did you think?
Actually, I didn't get to hear much of it because I was dealing with stuff and walking in the city. But what I did hear seemed really great. So I look forward to watching it on YouTube. So, thank you all so much. And it
Pleasure.
was quite a fun thing. It's great to get these things, to get this, as people were saying, this other Moliere that we're not as familiar with. So
Mhm.
thank you, Simone, and thank you all. Really well
Great.
done.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Yes, thank you everyone for, you know, coming. And we were having a hard time with the date, so I appreciate everyone hanging in there. And we got it all together. And I know we had lots of lines and back and forth. And Angus, I can't wait to watch your part.
Oh no, please don't. No, don't.
Oh,
no.
you know, back and forth with the hanky. That was great.
Embarrassing.
You know, when I saw that, I said that is just staying because I just want to see that. That's just gonna, you know, that's gonna be smashing.
Well, after 4 hours of Ibsen and Norwegian last night, I mean, this
Oh, okay.
What did you see? Where was this happening? Norwegian.
there's a theatre in London. It used to be called the Print Room. It's now called the Coronet Theatre. And they have a relationship with the Norwegian National Theatre Company, who come across and do Ibsen plays, usually about one a year. And last night it was the Wild Duck. I have to say, it's got to be the fjords and the dark nights, because it's distressingly bleak from the beginning. I mean, you know, he lays it all out and you can see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's just this, it's Ennuy's version of tragedy. You know, it's a wound up spring, and all it needs is for you to click that spring, and then it's going to wind down to the end, and you can't do anything about it. You can't stop it. All you can do is yell and shout and tramp around, but you really can't prevent it happening. So, you know, all the way down to the girl shooting herself over the wild duck, you know, oh God. all in Norwegian with surtitles, which meant you had to look up all the time.
Oh yeah.
But they actually, I had to sitting there looking at it, thinking, what is it like to do a play from one of your national great playwrights, knowing that most of the audience can't understand a word you're saying?
Yeah.
Because very few people can speak Norwegian fluently. It's not a common language.
No.
You know, so he managed, the director did a great job because it was just a big empty stage, and very much the same philosophy. The company I worked with in Manhattan called Yahoo Escadrille. No, it was the company I worked with, Folding Chair. That was who it was. That if you needed a chair, you brought it on, and then you took it off. And that was basically what they did. So there was very little business. It was just pure acting for 3 hours. You know, grim, but great.
Oh, but it
But
was
you weren't
great.
distracted by trying to follow shtick and business and props and all the rest of it.
Yeah. I think
It
that's
couldn't
always
be
a
done.
problem in
Yeah.
a lot of those, is having all the realism and have all these pieces of lamps and cigarette
Oh, yeah.
cases.
Yeah.
Stuff. People get really you have to have a lot of time to work with those props, or else it's just a mess and you can't act.
That's
know?
right.
Yeah, I mean,
That's right.
how many times have we all seen something where the prop ends up actually becoming distracting?
Yeah.
And you realize, you're like, wait a second, I've just been paying attention to whether the coffee is going to spill out of his hand and have not listened to anything he said. It's like, it's not.
I love it. Or being given a prop during tech, and they're like, "You're gonna have a cup of coffee." Yeah.
You're like, what do I
Always
do
fun.
with this? What do I do with it?
I sat watching a play in again in Manhattan, and I spent the whole time looking at this bottle of fake booze they had, which was growing stuff. And I'm thinking, God, I hope nobody's actually going to drink.
Oh God.
That was my total focus for most of the
Yep.
play. For
Yeah.
God's sake, don't drink any of it.
That's how to get back at your fellow actors, though. If you don't like somebody, just like go and push a glass to the edge of the table.
Oh, yeah.
Upstaging an entire scene.
Yeah.
Yep.
And people who used to work with the Glasgow Sits, and they would do comedy, and they developed what they called the ashtray game. That as soon as anybody went off stage, a big heavy glass ashtray was put into their hands, and then they had to go on stage holding it and work out how to hell they were going to get rid of it and who they were going to give it to.
Yep.
That's interesting, because Ibsen was naturalism, that they always had to like heavily decorate the stages and make it as natural as possible and as authentic as possible.
Yeah.
They got rid of all that, huh?
It was just a large empty stage. There were chairs around the walls, some of which were used and some of which weren't. They'd bring a chair into the center and they'd put it on marks if it was necessary. But outside of that, it was just actors being brilliant, even if I couldn't understand a word they were saying. I remember my wife telling me that she was taken to see a Norwegian company doing the Master Builder, and all she could remember of it was something that to her sounded like "Usa gusa frusa big mister soles." That's all she could remember. It's a very musical language.
Yeah.
It's a bit rocky.
The one I do remember, there was no surtitles, was Ingmar Bergman's Hamlet, and actually you could follow it perfectly. It was just such a brilliant production. They did it here at BAM many moons ago. I'm not going to say when because I'm going to give my age away, but it was actually brilliant. No surtitles, you understood everything, and he put it out of order. He put it in a different, all the scenes in a different order. It was marvelous. It was such an incredible production. Anyways, what time is it?
Actually, I want to take a screenshot before.
Oh,
I want to take a. Everyone, just give a pose. Everyone, going to give a pose. Wait a minute, I got to do this again.
Great, thank you.
One more.
Yeah.
Hard work.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again. Okay.
Thank you, Simone.
Here's all my faves here. So thank you. And it's hard getting all the dates together. So yeah, and I really appreciate if you can get right back to me, because that's not the fun part of this, is getting all that administration stuff. It's really not the fun part at all. So I do appreciate when you get back to me.
Where'd you get the background, by the way, Simone, real quick?
There's actually Paula. I gave Paula what she's great, my little secret weapon here, because I give her the ideas, like something like this, and then because it has to be Zoom, adaptable. And so she adapts it, so it's like, yes, because I do like that we do.
She
that
does,
we put that
does
in.
single pictures, but she's put this one together because those little cameo pictures
Yeah,
are
this
all
is-
from different sources.
Yeah,
So
and as you
actually
see, the
assembled this
title
one.
in the back is Monsieur de
Mhm.
It's
Yes.
right here.
Oh, she did that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she put it together. Yeah.
constructed it,
Oh,
that image.
oh, okay. I said,
And
where
thank
did
you
she
for
get that?
Clinton, who adapted our script, because it comes from
Gutenberg.
source.
Wall.
Yeah,
Wasn't it the-
Gutenberg, and yet we can't mark it in. So thank you so much, Clinton,
Yep.
for putting that into a format that we can get in there and put our little notes in
Yep.
and mark our positions. So yay for the team here. Yeah, we're
And
going
Brava
strong.
Island, Brava Island.
Thank you for
Brava.
including me. This was really
Yes,
fun.
welcome.
Yeah,
Yes.
good.
Welcome.
And thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul, for giving you the stage. The
Yeah.
stage
Yes.
and
Does this
all
mean
that
we
that you
have-
do. That's a lot of work.
Does
And
this mean we have to go back to the beginning and do them all again now?
Yeah. There's a couple more to do still.
Okay.
A couple
Okay.
more. And I keep talking about, Commedia dell'arte. I want to bring that in because, we know that Moliere was strongly influenced by that. So
Some of the Goldoni
bring
stuff.
that in at some
Yeah.
point.
Mm.
And then, I want to repeat some so we can kind of
Yeah.
do them in a little more depth. But this is a good one. This is on my top 3, I think.
And I think a great celebration for David Brown. Great celebration.
Yes. Paul,
His spirit.
was maybe did you mention this to the family of the Browns? That we were doing this in dedication for him, this reading? You did you mentioned it to them? Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. I think this was, I was thinking of that too as we were going through, that this was very nice for this. And Drew, nice singing. That was really
yes.
nice. We had this lovely singer in the beginning.
Yes.
It's like I'll just improvise this. Oh, there's a lot more than I thought.
We're writing a musical together there, Drew. We're writing
like,
musicals
that's right.
together.
Yeah, so the next version is going to have the dancing involved
Yes,
too,
please.
right?
That's
Oh,
right.
boy.
I-
Please.
That's right.
I'm still
Oh,
working on
boy.
the dancing
Get your
part.
pas de
Dancers.
deux in place
But
there.
Angus keeps giving me a hard time about that.
Well, I'm not. Look, I have reduced choreographers to tears before now.
And Clinton, I loved your fan. That was perfect.
That was
Oh, thank
That
you.
was
I was
killing
like,
me.
oh wait.
Who
Oh
was that?
my God.
That was excellent. And it was great because the beard was just there. You were there and it was like, wow, your voice really changed. I said, who's that?
Perfect casting.
That was one of those I need to check that my microphone is off moments because you came on, the screen cleared, and there you were, and I just died.
Your little 40s hat. this
Yeah.
big flag. And then you said beard and it was like, yep, and it's real.
That would have a beard.
It's not one of these. That was perfect.
Oh,
Anyway, great. Thank you.
Oh.
Everyone, thank you so much. There was very
Great
sweet
fun.
things from everyone. Really appreciate it. And it's gonna be really fun to
Great
watch.
fun.
Thanks.
Thank you.